The party's over in Miami Beach after out-of-control spring breakers forced the city to deploy SWAT teams and declare a state of emergency. Phil Keating is live on the ground there with the very latest. Hello, Phil.
Good afternoon, Mike. Yeah, another night of chaos and disorder and arrests being made and police shooting pepper bullets into the crowd to get them to disperse. And last night, of course, at 8 p.m. was the very first night of Miami Beach's brand new state of emergency curfew. All of the restaurants and bars you see behind me on iconic Ocean Drive, they have been ordered to close at 7 p.m. in a way to encourage the crowds to get out of here. But last night, it took a whole lot of police effort, I've got to tell you that. But today, much less crowded than it was at this time of day Friday. Much more peaceful, and that's exactly what city leaders want. What they don't want is this, a packed street in denial as that curfew alarm went off, the police bullhorns, all to get the crowds of people off the street who resisted back to their hotels, back to the mainland. It still took an hour for cops to clear the crowd, who all came down here. Well, let's put it plainly, party and let loose. This is the second straight high-impact weekend of the spring break season. It's been a chaotic couple of weeks in Miami Beach, specifically on South Beach. Fights on multiple occasions, sometimes nightly, and these are group fights with men and women all throwing punches. And of course, it always happens after dark. More than 1,000 people have been arrested. Dozens of weapons have been confiscated. The beach has seen larger crowds than anticipated, mostly due to super cheap airfares, hotel rooms, and people just needing to get away after a year of a pandemic. But in a hastily scheduled news conference yesterday to announce the new emergency measures, including closing inbound traffic on the causeways unless you could prove you were a local resident, city leaders say this just cannot go on.
Our city right now in this area has become a tinder, and we cannot have a policy of simply hoping that it's not lit. We have to act before one of those incidents happen. We cannot act in the wake of something.
In about 2 hours, or just under that, at 3 p.m. Eastern local time, the mayor, who you just heard from, and city commissioners are going to have an emergency meeting to discuss this state of emergency, the devolution of the party scene here over this past spring break season, and possibly will extend the state of emergency further, which includes the road closures to get into the beach as well as the curfew. Last year, the spring break was abruptly canceled in mid-March because that's when the clarity of the coronavirus pandemic situation really got sharp. The beaches closed, the tourists went away. This year, clearly a different scene, but as far as Ocean Drive today, we were here on Friday doing spring break live shots as well. There were a lot more people on the street behind me than there are today. Could be their vacations ended and they already left town. Could be the buzzkill of an 8 p.m. curfew. Don't know for sure. Back to you, Mike.
We'll see if that 8 p.m. curfew works. Phil Keating live in Miami Beach. Phil, thanks a lot.